Look at them. Such magnificent trees. Green, luscious. Damn, I love them so much. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about this. What if I tell you a 3-year-old can actually draw and paint a far better watercolor tree than most of us? It's true. I teach, I know. However, what if I tell you this, that we can also most definitely and absolutely try to make the same 3-year-old tree, 3-year-old's tree, turn into a professional one for our professional paintings with some sophisticated movements, almost. Happy New Year, everybody. Welcome back. I'm Abhishek and this is Art for Thought. Let's move on. Let's see. The first thing we need to understand would be the formation of a tree, and basically there is none. I mean, you can develop one. That's what we are going to do today. Artists over the years have developed many different methods. So, is there any right and wrong? I don't know. I don't care. Because there are so many different trees with so many different shapes. So I'm going to show you the tricks which I use, and they kind of work. I'm not even sure if there are any of these techniques out there. Maybe not. The first one I call the 3C, and then the 5C. That's the second one. The third one would be less is more method. Yeah, absolutely. So I'm gonna use all these 4 brushes, one natural hair, liner brush, I'm gonna use a flat brush, and I'm gonna use a synthetic brush. That's all there is. Let's move on. Clean water, 3-year-old's watercolor palette, and Chitrapat. Alright, let's start with the drawing process first. Let's understand the 3 C's. So what is this? This is a C. It's very simple. Okay, now the shape should be like this. One over here, one over there, and one over here. Quite simple. And there is a V in here. That's a 3 ear is going to make. And this is exactly what we need for our professional drawing. Let's convert this. There. Forgive me for my absolute brilliant drawing skills. I paint nice though. Now, if these lines are going to be slightly curvy, slightly random, and slightly absolutely disturbed, the tree will be more natural. Something like this. This is absolutely random, no shape whatsoever, but I'm still following the C's. Very, very simple. We just have to put 3 C's. One like that, and one like this. And if we notice and add all these curvy patterns, which is quite random, basically, you don't have to follow any specific style, which we are going to do afterwards. As of now, this is more than enough. Let's try something else. Now let's convert this one to the next level. I'm not going to use the formation again. It'll be direct. Just like that. Just like that. Just like that. And now I'm going to add a slightly more sophisticated kind of a branch and a tree trunk like this. Now if I add the ground, we are done. Quite simple. 1, 2, 3. So this is the 3 C's method. Now let's try the 5 C's method. So this is the 5C. 1. Yeah, you got the idea, obviously. So 1 over here, 1 over here, 1 over here, and 1 over here. There you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. let's convert this to this. La la la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la la la, la la. Bring it over here, some random shape, go quite fantastically designed trunks with some nice sweet ground. So there we go. We have 1, this is 1, that's 2, that's 3, that's 4, that's 5. So this is the 5 C's. There we go. And now we are going to paint it, where I'm going to teach you, or maybe basically I shouldn't say that, I'm going to show you my methods for watercolor painting. After this, let's just try to do the last one, which I would say less is more. So basically when you paint, you have to do less to achieve more. Less is more. And now let's just paint. 1, 2, 3. Now let's paint. I'm just going to use a simple natural brush. Try not to make it quite watery. So if you're confused, how do you know how much water to take? Dip it in. Totally watery. Okay. Once, twice. That should do it. Just once, twice. Yeah. And now, let's just begin. I'm gonna add I'm going to fill this exactly as it is. 1. But then, while I'm doing it, as you notice, I'm moving randomly, so the structure of leaf will be created, and they'll try to create thousands of different random shapes, basically a representation of many leaves, right? Obviously. And now if you just take a liner brush, create some dark values, mixing green. Don't pay attention to the colors because that's not important. Now if I take that color and try to do some line work like this, just like that, randomly added, right? Very simple, no need to do complicated stuff. Now you can just create a simple ground effect, maybe touch of grasses, just like that, and you have a beautiful tree, a simple beautiful tree, one single tone color. If you would like to develop a lot of layers, you can do that on top, let it dry, you can add, or if you want, you can make maybe a tint of neutral colors like brown based, red based, blue based, so they will be called neutral tint, basically close to black, like complementary colors. So they will not exactly represent any red, blue or brown or yellow or anything. And keep on adding around the bottom areas of a tree randomly. There. And now let's try a direct approach. Less is more, like I said. So I'm just gonna take lots of green, touch of water, and I'm gonna do the same technique like the 3C method, 1, 2 and 3, and just dab 1, 2 and 3. Look at this. Does it look like a tree? You must be thinking, what kind of tree is that? I know, almost like I said in the beginning, right? There we go, touching it over there. Second touch off with some dark colors for the bottom areas, blah blah blah, there. Now if I try to draw a long tree, it'll work. You just have to think artistically, which will come to you when you try a lot, practice a lot. So these are basically a bunch of trees connected together, and a little bit of scratches just to enhance some things, and obviously the grassy areas over here for the ground effect. There we go. And if you want, take a touch of water, do some sprinkling around the edges, just like that. And they'll create their own pattern. Let it dry, wait for it, and see. You'll see magnificent stuff. That's watercolor. Now let's try the 5 one. Alright, now let's try with a flat brush like this, right? So same thing, I'm going to dip it. So I'm going to mix a touch of green, touch of yellow, I tried not to use unnatural colors, but you know what, you should try. That's the fun, that's the thing you should do. Okay, let's go for a different kind of tree. I don't know, quite reddish. Properly mix on your palette, do something like this, so it'll become like this, easy peasy. All you have to do, think about the shape, C, C and C. So 1, 2, touch of water maybe, and 3. So that's your first pattern, quite random. Now while it is wet, try to make the colors slightly more darker and do that again, and try to do touch up only for the bottom areas of each section. The bottom areas like this, like that. Right? Now choice is yours. If you would like to add more, a couple of dotted random patterns, just like that, darker, darker, darker. And now take your liner brush and top to bottom, just like this, bottom to top, bottom to top to top, top to bottom, top to bottom, and you can create many things. There's no right and wrong, just follow the pattern. And now over here, just like that, making it a little more thicker. There we go. And there, a simple tree. This can be used professionally. Now I'm just sprinkling a little bit of water, so they'll try to spread around, create their own thing. That's all there is. So now let's just try with a synthetic brush and do the 5 C's thing. This time I'm gonna pick a lot of yellow. Let's make something colorful. So 1, 2, 3. So these are all different shapes. Don't worry about that. 4 and 5. Not necessarily they have to touch each other, right? That's the whole thing. Now this time I'm gonna pick more red, and I'm only gonna do what I just did with the brown one, touching the bottom areas of each one randomly. It'll take practice for you to get it right, so no need to worry. And then same thing, create your branches. These are simplified trees, still professional, not to worry, right? And dash of water, so they'll try to create their own thing. There, wait and watch. So like this, there are so many different things you can actually do. Many different things. Remember, try to do loosely and not very. So try not to do quite rigid, be free and try to do loose watercolor. You'll be shocked what you actually see. Alright, go and make those professional trees now. I hope it helped. Thank you so much for watching. You take care of yourself. Like and subscribe. Trees are good. I hate broccoli. No, I don't. See you next time. I love you. Bye bye.